feel like it's been a little while since I've done an evening vlog, but I wanted to talk to you guys because this evening I have to do the really fun task of going by the grocery store, and I also need to get Axel food. I feel like I'm buying him food all the time, but I swear I'm not. It just so happens that a lot of times when I'm doing a vlog, I have to get his food. But on my way there, I wanted to talk to you guys about Brianna K. She sat over there on Instagram, is really showing people and reminding people why influencers are here. And I'm sure that most of you guys know, but for anyone that might need a little bit of a reminder, influencers are usually here to line their own pockets. They're here to figure out how they can make money off of their following. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them, and especially the ones that I cover and, you know, that are featured on other drama or commentary or tea channels. A lot of them are kind of cut from the same cloth, and unfortunately, I think that Brianna K is one of them. It's very, very hard to stay on that same path once you start doing YouTube full time, to just literally like continue to let your content speak for itself, you know, only do sponsorships with companies that you really do use and you like their products. You don't just talk about products because they're paying you to. It's just difficult for a lot of people, and I'm only saying that because of what I've seen so many times. But essentially what happened was Brianna went to Disney. She's been talking about this freaking Disney trip for what feels like 6 months now. And alas, the time has come. She is down in Disney just having so much fun. And I'm happy for her. You know, most of us know by now she's going through a major life change. It doesn't, you know, take a whole lot to kind of figure that out. And if she feels like this Disney trip is going to make her happier and allow her to unplug, I am here for it. I'm always here for people keeping their mental health in check, going on a trip, seeing a therapist, like whatever making yourself happier looks like to you. Obviously, as long as you're not hurting anyone in the process or hurting yourself, I'm always here for it. Some people really like to travel. Some people want to stay home and have a spa day. Some people want to take their kids or their dog to the park and spend time. So I'm not here to say, oh, well, she shouldn't be at Disney. But the problem is that she was at Disney, which is a paid for trip. She did not pay for it herself, based on what I know. So she didn't have to come off the money herself. She's posting a ton on stories advertising because that's part of the deal. If a destination or a brand sends you somewhere, they're getting advertisements the whole time that you're there. So I remember when, who was one of the brands that used to do the beauty brand trips? Tarte, Benefit, Urban Decay. There for a while, those brands, I know Becca did it too when they were still around, but they would sit there and send these influencers to like Tahiti for a freaking bronzer launch. And if you were following those people on Instagram or any other platform, you better expect to have your timeline full of the same type of pictures the whole time. But that's to say that Brianna K did not pay for this trip, and she's just down there having a good time. So good for her. But the part where she lost me and a handful of y'all as well, because I talked to some of you guys in DM today, and there were several people aside from me that felt the same way, where it's like, good for you for, you know, most people kind of look at it like, we're happy for you being able to go on this trip. That's amazing. But as soon as she started asking people and promoting the fact that she was going to be rolling out Instagram subscriber only features, that's where she lost people.
Lunch at Hollywood Brown Derby. It was so good. We got the Cobb salad, which is what it's known for. But I just got a notification that I can do subscribers only stuff on here. So there was a whole bunch of different price points. I just put it at the lowest one possible. It's $1 a month is what it said, 99 cents a month. But I'll do a special subscribers live later, and you can ask a bunch of questions. You guys, I'm new to this whole thing. I'm just trying it out. If you can't subscribe, no worries at all. Like, I'm not that kind of gal. I'm still going to be here on stories and all that posting. I just figured it would be fun to do different lives and like do different content. So what I'm thinking, we're going to Oga's right now. We just stopped and got water cups actually because of how hot it is. So if you are ever in the parks and just like need some water, you can stop at any of the snack stands, like a Starbucks. We just said like, hey, can we have some ice water? But we're gonna go to Oga's right now, and I think after that I'll do my first subscriber live. So just make sure you're subscribed if you want to join that.
You're on an all expenses paid trip to Disney, talking to your followers that are other moms, because as I've said before, if you're making stay-at-home mom content, day in the life, what I do with my 3 kids when they're not in school type content, motherhood and parenting content, you're attracting other moms and other parents for the most part. I know that some of her content is cleaning stuff, so there are probably people who don't have kids, but there are a lot of people that especially follow her on Instagram that are fellow parents or caregivers for children. A lot of her followers will never be able to go to Disney. Do you know how bad a lot of her followers would probably love to be able to take their kids to Disney? And I'm not saying that that's necessarily the fault of Brianna, but she constantly does these things, and it's like the lack of self-awareness just pops through every time. If you just figured out, because on the Instagram story, she said, I was just notified that I can offer subscriber feature on Instagram. She said she was at lunch, and let's just say that she got the notification while she was at lunch. She comes outside the restaurant and tells everyone that she was notified of this. If there was some level of self-awareness there, don't you think that maybe it would be better to say, while I'm on this all expenses paid trip in Disney, maybe it would be best if I wait till I get back home so that I'm not asking subscribers for money while I'm on an all expenses paid trip in Disney. That might not look too good to all the other parents that are watching me from either their desk at work or, their place of employment, no matter what they do, or their home, because there are just a ton of people that are not in a position to travel. It's not in their budget. Then to also sit there and ask people if they're interested in subscribing to her through Instagram. Now, she wanted everyone to know that she was only asking for $1 a month because she wanted it to be the cheapest option. While I understand that Brianna Kay's out here just doing charity work for everybody by only charging them $1, I really just think that posting that from a paid trip at Disney was a bad move. She's already gotten herself into a situation with a lot of her subscribers where they feel like she's completely unrelatable. She's not being, like her genuine self. She's kind of shutting people out, which that's her journey. But as we've seen, she also snaps off on people when they ask questions based on public info that they've come across online through verified sources. So I think that the combination of all of these things is putting her in quite a sticky situation with her subscribers, sort of like Love Meg, where you have all of these people that are rooting you on, but as soon as you show that unrelatable, greedy side, people are going to check out. And I think that's exactly what both of them are going through, for a little bit of a different reason on each, but both of them are definitely losing a really big part of their key audience. So while I really hope that she's having fun, I also would have thought that she would have known better than to post that while she was literally in Disney. Now, I want to tell you guys, I wanted to do a little bit of research because I was sitting there thinking, I haven't been to Disney as an adult. I'm not a Disney adult. That's not my thing. It's not anything that I'm even remotely interested in. Now, I did go to Downtown Disney as an adult in 2013, but I don't consider that like, you know, the park, because you don't have to pay to get in. It's just like shopping area. But I was sitting there thinking, maybe the picture I have in my head, I'm like overestimating how expensive it is to go to Disney. So I wanted to look at kind of 2022 estimate of what does it cost to take your family to Disney. I'm going to read you guys the breakdown because I thought that this was not only confirmation of what I kind of already thought, but also a reminder of how it's so important for these influencers to at least try to remember these things when they're, you know, sitting there vlogging from Disney and not reminding themselves that most of their subscribers would actually have to save and plan and save some more and try to figure out how they can actually take their kids to Disney. So the baseline trip for 2 adults and 1 younger child, and this is for like a week, is $4,600. If you take the 2 adults, 1 younger child and 1 older child, then you're looking at $7,100 for the week. And if you take that same larger family and you kind of upgrade your hotel and maybe some of the restaurants that you go to and some of the things that you buy while you're in the park, you're looking at about $8,500. And if you go on the opposite end of the scale where you're looking at like a budget trip for the larger family, you can do that for around $3,900. And when I'm talking about the budget version of the trip, that would include things like not going to restaurants, going to a grocery store and actually like trying to make meals at home, and maybe only going to dinner a couple of times while you're down there and not eating lunch at any of the restaurants in the park. So when you think of those numbers, and that's a baseline, those are estimates. So if you consider, most people are going to want to buy some souvenirs. Like, there's just so much money that can be blown in a place like Disney. And I know for a fact, because I've talked to some of you guys about this, to literally hear her on her story say, oh, well, it's only $1 for those interested, you know, it's only $1, it's only $1. There are literally people that saw that Instagram story that are trying to figure out how they're going to take their kids on any type of summer vacation because they literally don't even have money to get a hotel. And that to me hurts my heart because you know, as a kid, you can have a lot of fun at home, but speaking from experience, going to the beach as a kid is something that is really, really cool. Those are some of my fondest memories of growing up, is my dad always, somehow, some way, he would make it a point that we went to the beach every summer. And those are some of my most cherished memories from my childhood. So I feel that pain when you guys say, I really want to take my kids to the beach, but we can't afford a hotel. Like, I feel that. So do I think that Brianna K is rolling out this option so that she can start hiding content, or, you know, do some kind of like scammy weird behavior? No, because in the video she said that she would still be posting regularly, but she was going to use the subscriber option to basically do like a live stream for people who wanted to subscribe. So I think that that's also kind of her way of drilling down to a smaller group, which I can understand that part of it. I told you guys before, the one thing that I could see if I were to ever do this, and it's not even in my near future, I don't know if it'll ever even happen, but I could see doing members only live streams, only because it kind of, it gives you a smaller group of people that you can connect with, if that makes sense. So part of that I understand, but it was just the way that she said it. It was the, oh, well, it's only $1, while she's sitting there on this, trip that most people would love to be able to take their kids, and she's sitting there. She didn't even go with her kids. Her kids are at home. So I just think that a lot of times with stuff like this, timing is key. And when you know that timing is key, because none of them are dumb, and you still decide to post it, that tells me that you don't have a whole lot of self-awareness, especially when it becomes a pattern. And we've seen this time and time again with Brianna, where she doesn't care. After hearing from a handful of y'all, I just wanted to make this video to share my thoughts. I think Bri is going to try to do anything that she can to kind of float through the next few months. I don't know really what she has planned, but as I said before, I think that she missed a major opportunity with being just a little bit transparent about what's going on, because it would have given subscribers months ago a little bit of reasoning as to, why is she posting this? Why is she acting that way? And after all, you are a lifestyle vlogger, and you're supposed to be building other moms up and being so relatable and all the things, and that's just not what I've seen from her, and that's just my perspective. But if you guys are in a position where you're struggling financially right now, you're trying to figure out how you can take your kids on a vacation, you're trying to figure out if you can take a vacation for yourself if you don't have kids, if you're struggling to buy groceries and put gas in your car and pick up your kids' prescriptions, I feel you, and I fully understand what it feels like to struggle like that. Not with kids, because obviously I don't have kids, but I know what it feels like very directly to wonder, how am I going to come up with money to get to work next week when I don't get paid till Friday? There were a lot of times where when I was taking public transportation, when I was taking the metro, because you guys know there for a while I was without my license and stuff. This was back in like 2011. But during that period of time, I was literally collecting change out of the change jar just to be able to load up my Metro card. And you know, that was it. Like I had enough to get to work, and that was literally it. It was a really, really big struggle there for a while. So just to say, I get it, I feel you guys, and I'm sorry if any of you guys are going through financial, like real financial hardships right now. I hope that it gets better. But one thing that I would say is, if you feel like you're following an influencer that is not feeding your, feeding your day in some way, whether it's just strictly entertainment or it's something where you feel like, you laugh at them, or it makes you think, or it's educational. If it's not doing any of that for you, and it's just making you feel like you're less than, or you're missing out on something, or they're, gloating about stuff that you're not able to do, unfollow them, at least for a little while. Give yourself a week, and if you feel like you're not missing out on what they're doing, then maybe it was a good call to unfollow them and clean up your subscription feed. That's what I do often. So either way, that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys are doing well. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.